Uh-oh. Stinky poop.
Hey guys, how did you spend your New Year's Eve? Oh, me? Well, I finished Evangelion and the end of Evangelion movie. More on that later. I worked. I watched some Dragon Ball Z. And I also had a great discussion with the lads of my team. You see, while I was at work, Clearin jokingly said in the Discord that I should make a video on which character has canonically the most poops. And then Dave said it was Corrin for sure, because cats tend to poop a lot. I said I agree, plus Corrin is 800 years old. 3 poops a day for 800 years roughly equates to 876,000 poops. And I said while King Kai is older, we know he pisses, but does he poop? The jury's still out on that one. But then Clearin said no, on-screen poops. And while the discussion started off as a joke, eventually I laughed so much at their comments and realized I could actually make a topic about it. And then I decided, fuck it, I'll make a video on this. So, let's begin. Now, true to form, since it's still a comedy at this point, the most bowel movements occur during the Pilaf Saga, it seems. Oolong and Roshi canonically poop the most, from what we can tell. Both did so twice throughout the manga, though both of Oolong's are in the Pilaf Saga, and they are in 2 pages that are pretty much back to back. This is when Bulma tricked him and gave him the laxative to control him. Also, the manga says it's recommended to be used once a month, meaning the laxative, the more you know. The laxative itself is an important plot tool, actually, because it keeps Oolong around long enough to make his wish and stop Pilaf from taking over the world. Now, Roshi's poop is less plot important, at least in the Pilaf Saga, but he is on the toilet when Goku and Krillin bring Launch to the island for the first time. We also have Bulma peeing even before all that, after Kid Goku rescues her from a pterodactyl. And Goku also pisses while disguised as a little girl, breaking the disguise so Oolong knows that he's a boy. Oh yeah, and while trapped in Pilaf's castle, and the Pilaf cage, Puar states he has to pee, but we never see anything come out of it, unfortunately. However, Toriyama does break the 4th wall during the saga when Mai has a poop on a stick, and both she and Pilaf explain that Shonen Jump has had a lot of readers recently, and this manga needs to be a bit less lowbrow, so Toriyama is keeping the poop and piss jokes to a minimum. And in case you didn't know, the poop on a stick is a Dr. Slump reference. However, there are a couple times when Kid Goku does pee in the manga, and there are 2 notable times during the Saiyan Saga where poopin' and pissin' actually have relevance, oddly enough. Firstly, Gohan, having been kidnapped by Piccolo, wakes up in the middle of the night to pee. We all been there. However, it's because he woke up to pee that has him notice the full moon for the first time and transform into a great ape, or Ozaru, and Piccolo has to stop him and then cut his tail off. Beforehand, Piccolo is watching him, and when Gohan gets up and pees, he looks somewhat frustrated, as if he's jealous that Gohan has a pee-pee and he does not. We also need to acknowledge that Goku states that the night his grandpa died, he went out to pee as well, which likely caused him to turn Ozaru, which led to Grandpa Gohan's death. However, back to the Saiyan Saga, later we next find Roshi on the toilet for his second poopy, when Goku contacts him from the other world and tells Roshi to gather the Dragon Balls to wish him back, because Nappa and Vegeta are arriving a month earlier than expected. There is some controversy here, because Roshi could simply be a sitting pisser, as Dave notes. However, I am going to assume Roshi is pooping, as he is reading a newspaper, which means he plans on being there for some time. Next, we go all the way to the Boo Saga, where there's a poopy. Fat Boo is trying to live a regular, domestic life earlier in the saga, having created a house. Now, during our conversation, Dave got us the manga page, but Clearin does point out Fat Boo's legendary toilet spoon. We can only imagine its usage. And of course, this begs the question, how an alien magical creature like Boo knows how to live a domestic life with regular toilets and baths and brushing his teeth. Maybe it's from observation that we don't see, but it's hard to guess. Now, of course, there is the Dr. Slump stuff. The filler during the Red Ribbon Army Saga where General Blue meets Arale, and Dragon Ball Daima does have a few poop jokes, and at least one poop scene with Goku pooping in the bushes. I think we also all remember when Kid Trunks pees on Broly during Broly the Second Coming, and Bulma also pees in Curse of the Blood Rubies, much like she does in the Pilaf Saga. Oh, and since it's difficult to discern if Cell truly has an ass, we really don't know if Cell potentially pooped the Cell Juniors out, or they were birthed from some other means, but they could count as poopy. There is also a filler where Super Buu does a poo-poo. He creates an outhouse with his magic and then goes in there and takes a massive dump. Now, Krillin hasn't pooped or pissed on screen, but he does fart on Bacterian in order to finally knock him out. We discussed this, and Clearin did acknowledge how people often say Gohan was the traumatized one, when Krillin fighting Bacterian was likely very traumatic. And then I said, true. Imagine fighting a 1,300 kilogram man who uses his shit-smeared self to fight, and even shoves a finger down his pants and attacks Krillin with it. Talk about nightmare fuel. Anyway, that seems to be all the shit I gotta say today. Hope you enjoyed it. While seemingly inconsequential, Poopin' and Pissin seems to actually have some plot relevance in Dragon Ball, and we can't forget them in our power scaling charts. And again, it seems Roshi and Oolong are the top of the poopers, and Goku seems to have won the pissing contest. Fascinating. Also, Goku tells us that he has to pee when he first makes it to Kami's lookout, which means there is in fact a toilet up there. And, fun fact, Popo says it's inside the door and to the left. Oh, and a few things to talk about before I stop the video. Firstly, I recently wrote a one-shot fanfiction that occurs right after the Pilaf Saga. There's no poopy or peepee there, unfortunately, but this is following Yamcha, Bulma, Oolong, and Puar when they get to Capsule Corp, and it's a Christmas-themed one. There was a Secret Santa thing where we can send fics or drawings to each other, and that was one of the prompts I got, and I decided, why not? And I wrote that. So it's essentially from Yamcha's perspective, but I quite like it. If you would like to read it, it'll be in the description below. I'll also put in my other crack pairing fic of Goku and Marin, the filler blue-haired Marin, Krillin's ex, because a new chapter of that is coming out this month, actually. So if you haven't read that, go ahead and read it, and if you've already read it, you might want to catch up on it, because there will be Chapter 4 soon. Also, when I mentioned earlier I had been watching Dragon Ball Z this New Year's Eve, I was watching the first 4 episodes in VHS quality with the Ocean dub, as it aired back in 1996. I've said this a few times, but that is my seed of might, honestly. And if you want to watch that, the link will also be in the description below. A YouTuber uploaded it, and if you do watch it, tell them Poohhead sent you. Okay guys, have a great new year, a great day, and as always, stay cool. See ya.
I think we made it through the slump.